fine.
So we have questions that people asked on our Facebook page, and they're kind of fun questions,
Good.
all right? So you want to go first?
The first was, what was the single most important day in your life? What day was it and what happened?
Well, always when your children are born, in my opinion. So I have 5 children, so I had 5 very important days. But always, I would say, when my children were born.
Okay. Is there anything on your bucket list?
In the sense of?
Do you have a bucket list, like things you want to do in your life?
Well, one thing I want to do is get Mitt Romney elected, because we need a new president. We need somebody that can really help this country become a great country again. Right now, we're a country in decline, serious decline, and I think my #1 thing would be to help get Mitt Romney elected.
Fun things, like travel.
Fun things?
I mean, you've
No,
probably been
I don't.
everywhere. But
Yeah, I have. I've been to a lot of different places. I've seen the good and the bad. But no, I have no particular thing. I mean, I'm enjoying my life and working hard. Employ a lot of people.
Along that line, if the incentive package were right, is there any possibility of you moving your studios from Homestead to Sarasota?
Well, I like Sarasota. I have many friends that live in Sarasota. And I'm really honored, because this is the biggest event in the history of this hotel, beyond even the party. Joe was saying, forget the party. I mean, it's the biggest event we've ever had at the hotel. So, I mean, I love Sarasota. I have many friends that live in Sarasota. It's a great place. I would certainly be, I mean, you know, it's not where I am, but I would certainly be honored to live here. I have no problem with it. What about you, Melania? Would you have a problem? I don't know. Maybe you should like. Maybe we'll move here.
That would be great. You are obviously a real estate mogul, and real estate is one of the recovering markets here in Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch. Any predictions for when you think we may be kind of on a really forward track in not only Florida, but in the country?
Well, you have to get the banks to start loaning money again. They're not loaning money. And in fact, I see some of your signs in Sarasota where it said family-owned financing and all sorts of financing given, because the banks aren't there.
Right.
So the banks were bailed out, and yet they're not loaning money to people that want to buy houses, and it's pretty sad. So until you get the banks to loan money again, and a lot of the regulations are really hurting, and a lot of other things are hurting, but the banks are not doing their job.
So how do we change that? I mean, even, you know, there's so many properties that are underwater.
You're right.
Too.
Well, you need a new mindset in Washington to start off with. I mean, you have to get a new mindset in Washington before anything's going to change. And ultimately, if we could create jobs, if we could do a lot of the things that you have to do from an economic development standpoint, then it'll really change, and it'll change fast, because people are going to go out, they make money, they're going to go out and buy homes. But until that happens, nothing's going to change.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, I just had a couple quick things.
Yes.
First of all, I heard your response a little earlier about Todd Akin and the comments that he made. I wondered, you know, most Republicans so far, including Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, have called for him to exit the race. Is that something, do you think he should stay in, or do you think that he should leave?
Well, I wouldn't comment. I mean, the statements he made were very unfortunate. They were a mistake, and he's really apologized for it, and he said they were a mistake. Maybe he was nervous, maybe he was under great pressure. I don't know what would cause somebody to make those statements, but he made statements that were a mistake. No, I wouldn't be so presumptuous as to say resign, get out of the race. But some people are saying that made a mistake, and he's apologized.
And then the only other question I have is, in the polls right now, Governor Romney is underperforming among white working class voters, and I just wondered why you think that might be, or if there are things that he can do to sort of improve that standing.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised to hear that, actually, but I think that probably he will do very well. There's a long time to go. You know, we only have 2.5 months, but that's a long time in a political sense. And I think he's going to end up doing very, very well with that group and lots of other groups, and with women. I think he's going to do very well.
So that's another place where he's underperforming right now.
Which is shocking to me.
Else he needs to be doing?
Well, it's very surprising to me that he's underperforming in terms of, you know, that group. And I will say that I think that he will perform very well. I think he reacts very well under pressure. I saw how well he did in Florida when he was under great pressure. He won 2 debates and won the state. And I think he's going to react very well. He's a terrific guy. He's going to do a great job.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Let you get back
Good
on
jobs.
schedule.
Thanks a lot.